everyone, my name is Antonia, this is Perry Pictures, and we are going to discuss ARTFIGHT in a little bit more detail today because I've been receiving questions on my ARTFIGHT tutorial video and my ARTFIGHT prep video. I know a lot of people were asking, how did I get the ARTFIGHT team template on my profile, and how much do the team themes play into the actual art itself, and whether or not you can play ARTFIGHT if you are a traditional artist and not a digital artist. Okay, so here we are on ARTFIGHT, and this is my profile, and looking here, I'm sure you've already noticed that I've got some really fun and eye-catching icons on my profile. We have here the profile stamps that I had discussed in my previous video, and these identify which teams I was on each year that I have played. And then down here, the team template fully filled out for me specifically. These are some of my characters as well as some surface level information about me as a player. How you get this on your profile is the bigger question. So click this edit button here at the top so we can go over to the editing settings, and right here under the word settings are a bunch of blue tabs, and the white one is of course the selected tab. Those are available to you to edit, but we're going to focus primarily on profile for right now. It does say BBC code is allowed, but you will not need to know how to code to do this. You just need to have a hyperlink to where the image you would like to add exists somewhere else on the internet. So we're not going to be able to copy paste photos into here. I know that would be super convenient if we could, but that's just not the case. You're going to first need to find them or host them on another website. So for these team stamps, a great place to grab things that are ARTFIGHT specific and that are created or provided by ARTFIGHT is from ARTFIGHT themselves. So I'm going to very quickly jump over to the home page and say I wanted to add this image right here. I could just right click on that and copy the image address. Not copy image, but copy image address. That way when I come back over here into my settings and I want to edit this, to do that I'm going to click this button here on the toolbar. It brings up the caption insert an image. When I click on that, I can add this URL here. There's also some other options like width and height. These are very useful when the image you are adding is super large. So if maybe we're coming to your website and we're only seeing the top left corner of it, so a great way to control how large it scales is to put a width or height limit. 800 pixels is usually a really good size, so if I was going to put a width limit on something, that I would probably write 800 right here in the width section. Click insert, and there we have it. We can see that, and if I hit submit and go back to my page, we will be able to see that that has now shown up on the page itself. So that's pretty cool. I actually kind of like how that looks. If it's not something that is hosted by another website, by ARTFIGHT itself, say you wanted to add your own template, whether you are Team Bloom or Team Wither, or if this is a future year and you're a different team with a different theme, the way to do this is to completely fill this out first of all, and then you're gonna have to upload it to another website. I like to do this on DeviantArt, but you could also do this on Toy House, you could do this on ArtStation. In my case, I just go over here to my DeviantArt account, actually right directly to my profile information section. I'm able to right click on it, go here to copy image address, and then if I go back over here to ARTFIGHT, once again hit edit, go into my profile description section, and let's go ahead and just delete this. If I want to add that back or replace a previous year, I just delete the old one and I come in here, I paste the new URL and insert the file, and then hit save. Once I revisit my homepage, that should be right where I left it, which it is, and that's how we do that. A few issues you could run into if you are submitting your images, say to Instagram, and you have a private Instagram account, or you are submitting them to your Facebook, but your Facebook is private. It may work, but it also may give you some trouble, and it could be a privacy issue at that point. So that's just something to keep in mind. With that out of the way, let's also talk about that other question that I had brought up at the beginning of this video, and that was traditional art versus digital art, and is ARTFIGHT a digital artist only event, or is it open to everyone? It's a completely reasonable question. I think that it's pretty typical to assume that ARTFIGHT is for digital art because it is hosted on a digital platform. This isn't necessarily an in-person convention. I do wish it was. That'd be really exciting if we could all be running around a convention center with like iPads or sketchbooks, or maybe have out like little tables or stations with our character sheets up for reference. I think it would be really cool, and to watch other people work as well in a convention setting. But because it's digital, the assumption typically is that it is a digital art competition, that it is not limited to digital art. And just as an example, I want to go over here to my defense tab and show you some traditional art that I have received from other artists of my characters that just blew my mind. And this one is of my D&D character. This was done traditionally, and you can tell that this was uploaded as a photograph that was taken of traditional art. She's even got the pencil right here in the corner. So this is just one way that you can submit your traditional art, and it is just as good as doing a digital piece. And this is of my gargoyle character Video. I cannot tell you how long I stared at this gorgeous piece of art when I received this. So it's really worthwhile for traditional artists to get involved in ARTFIGHT and to become a part of the game. Do not shy away from participating in ARTFIGHT just because you're not a digital artist. Please come join us. It'll be so much fun, and we really do appreciate your work. How important are the themes, and are we restricted to using those themes each year when we are submitting our attacks? And the answer is simply no. You are not limited in any way to draw thematic artwork based on the team themes. That is simply like saying Team A and Team B, Team 1 and Team 2, Team Wither and Team Bloom. This is an attack art that I did for another creator. They actually created characters that year for that theme. So that is one way that you can incorporate your themes. There are other ways. Last year we did Cyberpunk versus Steampunk, and a lot of people came out with characters that supported those themes. I was Team Cyberpunk last year, and some of the artists that I was attacking on Team Steampunk had created steampunk characters. So that is one way to incorporate the themes. Another way is to draw artwork in an aesthetic that connects with that theme. So I know for Sun versus Moon, there was a lot of artwork that was drawn for daytime versus nighttime, and that is another way that you can incorporate your themes. When you are submitting a friendly fire or an attack against the opposing team, there isn't going to be a field, at least there hasn't been in previous years, where you are going to annotate at any point whether or not the theme was included in the attack. So that is not going to have any bearing whatsoever on the quality of points that you are receiving for your work. So again, you don't have to, but you can if you want to, and that's kind of the beauty of it. You have the freedom to choose. One of the other things that I would like to talk about with ARTFIGHT is how to make friends on ARTFIGHT, or how to follow your friends on ARTFIGHT, and we do this with a follow. I am going to go ahead and look here at, let's see, little animation. Let's click on that. The way to follow someone or to friend somebody on ARTFIGHT is to visit their page, and then up here is a follow button, a PM button, so private message or DM, direct message, a report button. Please don't click this unless you mean to, and this drop down menu to hide themes or to block someone if perhaps you are being harassed. I am thankful I have never been harassed in ARTFIGHT, so I've never had to use this, but if you are ever in that situation, the option is there. I'm going to hit follow, and now I am following little animations, so whenever they add a new character now, they're going to show up in my subscriptions notifications. So now that we've followed somebody, how do we find them again when we want to go back through our friends list? We are going to go right back up here to the drop down menu right next to our profile name, where all of our submenus really are located, and scroll down here to settings, select settings, and remember how I mentioned these tabs earlier? We were talking about profile tab, character permissions tab. Well, there's also a followed and followers tab. So if you want to find the people that you have followed, you click on your followed users tab, and the same goes for who follows you. There's also a followers tab that you can visit to find out who's following you. This is a great way to find them all in one place. Let's go ahead and navigate from ARTFIGHT to YouTube for a second and talk about this playlist that I have available, and it's going to be down in my description, and this is going to have all of my ARTFIGHT related content, and I'm going to continue adding new ones like this one today to this playlist. If you have additional questions that were not answered here, ask them down below. If you liked this video, remember to like this video by hitting the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe, because I am making art and animation content on my channel all the time. Thank you, and I will see you on the battlefield for ARTFIGHT and again on YouTube in the future.